All right. I'm apparently live according to OBS. Now let's go ahead and confirm this. Let's get some music going. Let's do RimWorld. There's a music mod that adds some wonderful, wonderful music. So we're going to go ahead and pull that in. Make sure you can hear that. Yep, it's getting picked up. Wonderful. Okay, let me just make sure on YouTube it actually is streaming. Do 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 do. Music mod that adds some wonderful. Pull that. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna make sure that the audio is decent as well. It's getting picked up. Wonderful. Okay. Let me just make sure on YouTube it actually is streaming. Do do do. Okay, it's a little quiet. I'm gonna turn it up just slightly, but not too much. Let's do kind of like that. Yeah. If it's too loud, someone can let me know. Okay. Let's go ahead and get my windows organized here. And then, okay, so what we're going to be doing, or what I'm going to be doing, is working on some dissension here. And I'm not exactly sure what, besides continuing their assaults of towns, working on the finite state machines. So I have to, there's one thing I want to do, actually right away that I just remembered when spawning in static weapons and artillery, or mortars, I mean, and static weapons, is I really want to kind of make them spawn in a straight line. Right now they kind of spawn in a blob. So I want to change that. And I want to do some math for that, and that is definitely not my specialty. But we're going to try. I'm just kind of double checking my code here. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Okay. So, oh man. Math. Math. Oh, this paint's all fancy now. So we can try to use some math. Can I make it go the other way? How do you make this triangle? So I guess it doesn't matter. Can you rotate in this? What do I do this? Nope, okay. So we have one point here, which is say safe, move to pause, advanced. And we'll make that here. So the AI are going here. Oh, can I fill this in? Oh, I think I can. What the hell? No. Do. Is there a fill option? Okay, whatever. Oh, not what. Oh wait, this is it right here. Haha. Okay, so the AI are gonna go here. This is one position to go. And then say we know where the enemy town is. So we can have this line here, so we can get this line here, and then say I want to get a line that's actually, how do I want to do this? Oh, why is that erased like that? That's odd. Actually, hold on. So if we have the enemy town here, we have a position here. And so we can, well, what we can get, the information we can get is the distance from here to here. We can get the direction, actually. And so we can get to the direction, then we can add 90 degrees, right? Add 90 degrees and subtract 90 degrees. So this, we can just do 90 degrees here, and 90 degrees here. And then we can use a command to get us just a certain distance, this like that direction and that direction. I think that'll work. So let's translate that. Man, this for everyone If anyone ever plays RimWorld, this is called the RimWorld P music, which is a RimWorld mod, a music mod. Just adds a bunch more music to the game, which is awesome. So right now I'm using that to keep me going. Alright, so let's make sure I'm just double checking one thing. Yes, perfect. Okay. Alright. So we need to do, how do I want to code this? Starting position is going to be probably here. Then we want to spawn 2 to the left and 2 to the right. Actually, okay. So what I'm thinking of doing is we're going to find this middle position here, get the degrees, and I don't know, we'll do 100 meters or something. And so we'll 90 degrees and move 100 meters this way. Then we'll move 50 meters this way. And then move 50 meters, 100 meters to the right. Okay, so we need to find a position. So we need to get the direction first. Direction to town. Now, does this FSM get that? I think it does. So we get the direction, enemy town. Let's go enemy town. Yep. So this part of the FSM does get it. Get there, right? Yeah, get there. Yeah. So direction to town. And then starting position is actually going to be get pause. I think so. This command, so we can start with this position. Start with this middle position here. And then we do subtract 90 to the left. So I'm just really making a guess. Wish I had a PC. Right now is not a good time to try to buy a PC, right? That sucks. What happened to your PC? Did you lose it? Okay, minus 90. And then we'll go 100. So this should get us this point here, which is going to be like 100 meters left of this. Ooh, we want 50. Never mind. Yep, good thing I did that. So we want 50. Okay, so that's the starting position. Hello, hello. Stosh? I'm trying to say how to pronounce your name. Stasha? Stosh. Stash. You're the stash man. Okay, so we're going to start from there. Let's call this mortar spawn pause here. And then this will just kind of put it in a rough area around it. It doesn't need to be exact. So the minimum distance can be 0. It should be 25 and 5 meters away from anything else. And then it's going to create it there. But then every time it creates it, we should be adding equals, and you could just make an array, but this, I'm just gonna do it this way. Make sure I do this right here. There's probably a better mathematical way to do this. You said, I've never had a PC, I just like ArmA and hope I can get one soon. Oh, I have a PS5. The games on are not good. You know, consoles and PCs are getting a lot closer than they have in the past. There's definitely nice things about a console, right? They're more plug and play from what I hear. And I used to have an Xbox, one of the original Xboxes. I love that, and PlayStations. But just PCs, man, are so much more customizable. Yeah, they're hard to. Yeah, they're just hard to not like, I think, for me. Okay, so let's get to this point then. How do we get here? So then we can look at this point here. How do we do that? I'm trying to think how to do that code-wise. So we're at this point here, and we want to move towards past this middle point. I could, I want to do some, just by adding some numbers. I don't want to do like a switch case or anything silly like that. So then we just move along that line. I guess I don't want to have a bunch of numbers here that just repeat. There's a math equation I can do. 1 times, so repeat this, underscore I times 1. For here it'd be 50. Nah, that would work. That would push it further out. There's probably some kind of math formula I could do though. Alright, we'll do it this way first. 50, and then we'll look at this point. I remember on the PlayStation 2, I used to love playing a game called Time Splinters. It was like one of my favorite games. We'll do that. So this will always get the direction that should be moving to. We'll just do it in 15-minute increments. I think that's probably the simplest way to do that. So I have to add an extra variable in there, but maybe that's okay. So I do it for the mortars, and I should spawn them kind of along this line here in 15-meter increments. We'll see how that goes. Should it be 100? Because the next one will be 100, and then be 50, then be 0, then be 50. Yeah, 50 is good. Doesn't need to be perfect. So we'll do something very similar for the statics. Do static spawn pause. We're going to use the safe to pause for this. I'll push this back by 100. Okay, there we go. Let's do something very similar. Static, spawn, pause. Okay. We'll give that a try. Okay. So that should make static weapons spawn in a line actually, and facing towards the town. And then we should have mortars kind of in a line behind there. I guess mortars are okay to be in a little clump, but it's fine. Alright. So one thing that I really want to add in here, that I should just do right now, is add in the vehicles transporting the troops in. So I kind of wanted to put that off, but I just need to get that done. So I'm going to look at the Scout Town FSM and see how I do that. And I do a check here, essentially to see if they have transport. So I do a check to see if they have static weapons. They don't have static weapons. if they have static weapons, we can define some things here. Let's see, level 1 stacks spawns the groups. Okay. So we need to... At this point we'll just do straight up no drones. Spawn transports in here? No, okay. Where do we spawn? We spawn units in here. Define squads to spawn. How do we do this again? It actually takes resources out, okay. Ah, okay, so I can check to see if these are defined. I think for just right now, we'll just have the basic assaults always be using vehicles as much as possible, and then you only use helicopters for special transports. So, for the light vehicle transports, they only need to have light vehicle class names, right? And then we'll use a special kind of. I think I have transport hash maps as well somewhere. Okay, we'll start with this. Okay, so we need to check to see if they have statics. Close to staging, close to staging. How can I do this? So we're gonna take this, push it up here. Can I get rid of that? And this is almost up here. And then in here we gotta figure out if they need transport. Should be okay. Condition check. We can add some conditions in here later if we need. So this is going to make it so they don't walk to the front line. They do a similar thing to the scouts. With that said, I also need to improve the vehicles returning to RT being to base, and then have them just despawn when they... Almost like I just want them to stay there and just despawn, but I won't do that. So we'll do if they have transport, and then if they... No transport. Alright, so this will be the last one. This one gets checked next first. So we're going to pretend they have transport here. So if they have transport, we got to look at the class names here. Do I not have? I thought I had transport. Oh, transport vehicle, there we are. Yeah, so these need to get used. Okay. Got it. Let's make sure I put that on there. Okay, so if we have transport, just always for right now in the beginning, it's just going to be these transport vehicles. Yeah. So we need to spawn transport. Okay. So this is going to be very similar code to Scout Squad when we spawn the transport groups here. Oh, no, is this not it? On scout squad, has transport. Oh, this one's here. Okay. Scout squad vehicles. Okay, this is it right here. So we're going to take this code. Man, this music is so good. This is a mod. We made it to a stream. Late night stream. Yes, welcome. Lee Han. Yeah. You get to hear me, the mad ramblings of a madman. Right now we're just working on, or I'm just working on the getting the AI transport to the front line, get the mortars and static weapons spawning in a line. We're just setting up the assaults in the town. Once we get the assaults on a town set up, and I'm going to get them just how I just want them, I'm going to be very, very excited to start working on other features that'll be a lot more interesting. Alright, but first we're focusing on making the transport group, so we'll call this transport group. So now, I would love to have multiple transport groups going to the front line. However, the issue is that I do not have the trust in Bohemia's AI driving. So if I have, say, even just 2 groups of 2 vehicles each, to have them be able to get to the front line without crashing into each other or blowing up, like the more vehicles you add, the higher chances of imploding gets. So we're just going to be careful with that. Okay, so we need to pull this. Right now I'm just going to have one group that spawns and that carries just everyone, and it's going to be magical. It's going to be a magical bus, but that's okay. So we need to get the hash map from that. Let's see, where's the hash map? How do I... This is it right here. Is that right? Yeah. Squad defines. Is that right? Yeah. Yep, that's it. I want to make sure I do this right. Okay, so we take that, that. So we should have an underscore side in there. And we'll have them spawn the closest light factory, which should already all be defined, right? Is already all defined? Yes. All light factories, it's already defined in here. If I know, okay, a lot of this gets reused. I just realized that they can't find a road. Oh yeah, and we'll have to add a check in there. Okay. So many little checks. So essentially what we'll have to have is if there's a transport, it's going to try to spawn it. But we'll say no roads found, and then it's going to have to go back to roads found. Then it's going to have to go back to like them moving on foot. So if they can't find roads, they don't progress with this. So that should prevent some issues as well. Move the rest of this code up. Let's get a group, create group. So transport group. So this is going to go ahead and find spawn points. That's fine. It's going to try to set their direction to the road. Select randomly from that. Okay, and we're gonna have to find. Let's pull some basic units in here. It's basic infantry. Okay, so this will be spawning the transport group. Beautiful. So this will spawn the transport group. I like that. Boom. I think this code we can put in right there. And then it'll check to see if there are roads, so it'll check to go, okay. We have right here. As long as if one is greater than the count of the nearest roads, then we know roads found. If there are roads found, then we progress to the next part, which is tell the AI to, here we are, move to the spot they need to go to. And again, this needs to even do a check to see move units to transport. So this needs to even do a check to see if we have static units, the type of units that we have active. So we're essentially going to do another check like this. Oh, these are both 0? Oh, no, 60, 70, okay. Let's do 1. Oh, this needs to be 1, this needs to be 0. And then we need to essentially give them this kind of waypoint, right? And that one be in here. That'd be in here. So we give a waypoint to these groups. Oh yeah, look at this. This is not, we need to take this out right now. Because right now I'm telling them to move straight to the dig-in area. And I don't want that. Do, 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 do. Okay. So let's move the staging area. Okay, alright. So essentially, if we have advanced units, we need to tell, I believe it's, yep, these groups to move. So we have the advanced units and we have the basic infantry that move up. And then if it's just the basic infantry, yeah, it's just, make sure I do this right. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, I'm even misdoing this. Let's tell them to go to the front area. We don't need to do that. We need to tell them to move, get rid of the waypoint. Okay. Scout group. Transport group, okay. Let's make sure I get this right. Okay, units moving to the transport vehicles. So then we get the basic infantry group here going. Okay. Alright, this is if it's just basic units. And this is going to be if it is basic units and the advanced units. So to go here. Okay. And then this is if there's no roads found. Then we tell them to just go to the front line. But we still need to check these. So essentially if yeah, I need to walk there or not. But instead of perfect. So now they'll just walk to the front line with that. Look at this. Okay. If they're here, then they're going to wait for the transport. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other FSM. I'm getting some work done here. So, transport scouts, move ahead, close to transport. Okay. We will add the debug code in here. Times good then debug. There's an error here. Okay. I'm gonna have a check. Plus transport. Whoa, what happened in here? This group is missing. Transport group. So it got all they deleted there. Okay. Oh, it's because this doesn't need to be in here. So we don't need two of those, right? Yeah, there we go. Scout, group move, get pause. Transport group vehicle leader, there we are. I'm just fixing a bunch of bugs before we even run into them. Very nice. Okay. Really, we're just reducing the number of bugs, but that's okay. We're gonna get rid of this debug for now. Basic infantry group, advanced infantry group. As long as the basic units get there, we're good. Oh, we need to do different checks for this. Okay. Different checks for both of these. Yeah, because we need to have one that checks if it's just one group of basic units and one if it has advanced units in it. That's important to check for. Okay, and we'll come back to these. Let's just do them both. Or what do I do if this happens in here? Okay. Do 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 do. Okay, this thing is a little bit more complex. Check here. This is checking to see if certain groups died. And then we need to get a check for. I'll have to go back through this and like talk myself through this as well at the end. See if I can catch any errors before I even test it. But I think this should be a good check. Yeah. Perf units or die on the way to the group or whatever. This is to get close, and as we'll do. Yeah, once these guys get close. Okay. Woo! We'll complete this one, and then we'll go back and do this one. There's a lot going on here. Okay, then we're going to say once they get close to the transportation. Looks like do some code like this. Scout group. Oh, I wonder how this is going to work with multiple groups. I might have to code this for multiple groups. Crap. The transportation system is virtualized. Transport group. Scout group physical vehicles. We gotta pull the physical vehicles. Should we get here? Yep. Transform group initial. Okay. So really we need to do this for 2 groups. How's that gonna work though? Crap. Let's take a look at this function. I'm worried about this function, the AI virtual ride function I have. How does this support if multiple groups want to be riding a vehicle? I think we need to rewrite this to support multiple squads. Okay, so what we would do. Okay. Something like that. So we're gonna have to rewrite, not rewrite, but add support for this. Okay. We need to check if the squad variable is a group or an array. So if, then, okay. Transportation groups. Let's pull this tab up for the first time tonight. That's nice. Is type of, gosh, there's a command. I think it's equal type, is equal type array? No, is equal type, is that it? Converts 2 value types, a much faster alternative to, okay. Okay. Like this. Alright. Anything. So I wanted to check if underscore squad is equal type. If this is false, then we need to transfer squad, push back squad. So that one just passes like a single group to it. Else. So me rewriting this function here. This equals squad. So if it is an array, then we just use that. Okay. Actually, this might not be too hard to rewrite this. We're going to tell each squad to go to Mountain Pause. So they gotta get into the vehicles. This is a giant wait until. If not is object hidden. Interesting. Sorry, I'm just reading through this. Okay. So we can do this essentially for each group. It's a giant wait until, and this is also. I'm gonna do this. This is a bit more tricky. We'll just start from the beginning. So if they're not hidden, so they're not hidden. Then we want to wait until. If I do this, it's going to stop at the first group, which might be okay actually. Since one processes one group at a time, and that might be okay. Private squad equals X. So wait, actually, this might be okay because it does one maybe at a time. Except this part tells them all to move. Well, they already get the waypoint there, so this should be okay. This actually might be okay. Okay, and then we waypoints from them. I'm not talking much because I just got really focused here. It's getting later and later, so I'm trying to make sure I get this done completely correct. A for each instead of a for each? Sounds good. Alive units and groups. If alive. X. Then. Plus 1. This should be faster than anything else. So exit that loop, and then if greater than 0, exit this loop with that. You could probably do a find if. Will find if be faster? Maybe a find if would be faster here. So if we do private alive unit and group equals, you have to do like a find if. So you do a find if. That'd be. How does this work? When I do units X. I just do leader, check if the leader is alive, right? Because that changes when they add it. Oh, it's this. I think like this should work. Alive X. I don't know if that works like that. Yikes, I really don't know if this works. Just because I don't want to, I will leave this here just in case. But I don't know if I really want to mess with that right now. This will exit it right now. It goes to count, and then we just do check. There's no one left alive, then and it exits. Okay. What does this do now? So this is for each unit squad. Okay. Oof. Okay. Oops. This music's pretty slick. I think that works. I think that works. That was quite the rewrite there. Yikes, that's gonna need some testing. So essentially what I did was had to rewrite a function to make sure we can have multiple units get transported in one group. So having to spawn in multiple groups. So that's all for this code here. Okay. Yikes, okay. I was hoping to do some testing tonight, but it might be too late because I gotta go to bed soon. Dang. So then, once they get close to the transport, we get virtual ride time. Which of course we gotta keep checking if the vehicles are destroyed. I mean, if the vehicles get destroyed on the way to the setup, this whole assault is essentially just done. This is an in-state. Assault halted. So before any tanks or anything else spawn, the infantry has to get there first, and they start building up, and then the tanks and extra support will be spawned in and called in after. And part of that's to prevent congestion, and to have infantry support there first before the tanks arrive, before they go in and attack. Okay, transport group. Okay, and then distance staging area. Initial front lines. Setup, pause, okay. Transport group. Is this scout group? Yeah, that's right. No, that's fine. Because that's going to help with... Yeah. So advanced infantry are here. We'll just do both checks, just in case. Okay, jeez. So once I get to the staging area, this is where this kind of changes a little bit. Okay, then, whoa, I don't know I could do that. What the heck? I don't even know what it, there we go. Then this can happen. So once they get to the staging area, I'm gonna move this a little bit. I have a tree starting to grow here. Okay. So this over here. Then we go to this stage. Okay, man, oh man. Safe to move. Okay, and then we need to tell them to actually move. Did I save those anywhere? Oh, please tell me I did. I did, okay. Yep. Then, ooh. Well, that's not great. I should probably set this code up. Just gonna tell them to move home. Advanced teams have been dropped off. Transport group. Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay. And then that's going to go to the next decision branch, I believe. And this probably will even change itself, if I'm going to be really honest with you. Okay. So we have it so far where it goes here. It figures out if we're doing advanced units or not. And then it does another check. And this sets up, actually spawns in the units. So then this sets up to see if they have transport or not. And the transport kind of turns into this huge monster here, which is going to have multiple branches off of it. Yeah, that's why I use FSMs, because it gets complicated. So then once we're at the staging area, dang, okay, so the staging area, then they can do the rest of this, which is spawning the mortars and all that thing. Except we did all the way at the beginnings up here. This is just all the logistics set up here. It's like a 10-to-1 ratio, logistics to actual salt or something. It's ridiculous. Okay. So they're there. And this should be ultimately good. They get the order to move. Oh, it's all fine and dandy. And we'll probably add in something in here, by the way, where they spawn in like a tent. So it's going to be more like this, where they go to, you know, spawn. Oh no, never mind. We'll have that up here in this branch. The very first thing they'll do is spawn the statics and mortar. Actually, we'll do the spawn tents around there. And the tents are going to be like little protected areas. Right now they'll be pretty simple. I'm just going to spawn in like a tent. There might be more comprehensive prefabs in the future, but they're going to be spawn points for like when AI die, they respawn there. Instead of you know, spawning all the way back at the base and getting a ride in, because that could be a long time wait. This is kind of simulating a mass buildup of troops around an area. So that's what's going to do that, and it'll help in the game mode anyway, help keep pressure on in towns. So if you're fighting a town, it's kind of combining old Dissension with the current Dissension, where you have these units that can just keep fighting these towns, and it can feel really intense, and that essentially tent can just keep resupplying troops as long as there's supplies and manpower to do so. So it can put a lot of pressure on a town. So the more manpower they get, the bigger the armies can get. And then those tents, excuse me, I gotta go to bed soon. Those tents won't be broken until the manpower's out or something else happens, or they get blown up maybe. It'll probably be more than just artillery. It'll probably have to be, I don't know, something more. Maybe it'll be multiple structures around. I guess I could put multiple structures around. These have to figure out, like, If we spawned in like tents, what if you had like... I'm just gonna use something as an example right now. If we had like multiple of these, or it was like a basic tent. No, I'll just use these for now. So you have multiples of these spawned around, and maybe I spawn like 4 of them or some crap, I don't know. They just get rotated randomly. And then what if we put in, what's something that's destructible? They're like generators? I'm trying to think what you could even do. I think these can get destroyed. What if we just spawned in like around each tent had a generator? I might try that, and so if you want the assault to be halted, you have to destroy like this generator or something. I think they can. Or maybe there's like a certain structures that have to get destroyed. I'm just trying to think. Mobile radar generator. Maybe there's like some structures that would need to get blown up for the assault to have to be like thwarted. I'm just trying to think. Oh wow, that thing's huge. I'm just trying to think out loud here. Good. Neat. Is this like a foundation? Kinda. Anyway, that might be an idea. Even something like this wouldn't be the worst thing. Rotation speed. Oh, that's cool. You can set this. I didn't know this is a variable. I wonder. Anyway, so maybe we can do a combination of these. I wonder if these are destructible. Awesome. Put my character there. We'll worry about that later, but that might be something. So then the AI would spawn like from this camp here, and then push into the town from here. So they'd have to come from, like, say if the base is here, they'd have to come from all the way here to get set up. And so that could be intercepted and destroyed. But once they get set up, their respawn point is like, you know, here or something. And then they push into the town from there. So if there's a squad of 12 in here and they get killed, they respawn here instead. And then they push back in. That's probably how I imagine doing that. And I'm probably going to do a system like... Yeah, I think I have a good idea on how to make it feel pretty intense too. So, without it being too much. We are going to see though. Alright. I think... I don't have much longer left, so... It is late. I think that's the idea with it. And then these can have, like, of course, like tanks, and so you'll have like a mortar line. So static weapons, you'll have the mortars, and then I think even further back I would put this. So I'm gonna just do this as an example. Oh, can I not? Yeah. I'm thinking this would kind of be like this, and let's do static. And then these aren't exactly representative, but these would be like up ahead like that. And maybe this is even further back, I don't know, but it's kind of like this, maybe. Open area, and I'd probably use like a trigger or something to, or not a trigger, but an area to clear all this of any kind of trees or anything. So then that would get set up, and then they'd spawn to here and move up to the front line that way. These are actually further spaced apart too, so something like that, I think. Just really bring in the combined arms in. And you could make the mortars spawn like in here too. I almost like them being separated, even just by a little bit. And then this, I think, would need to be definitely more spread out. So like one artillery strike couldn't destroy everything, even if they were hidden amongst trees. And then this could always maybe this is always in the center, and then off of that is everything's kind of random around it, like that. That would be kind of cool actually. That way the AI can just kind of spawn randomly in here, and I think I'd spawn them laying down and then have them stand up and move in. I think that'd be cool. And have to move kind of building to building. Kind of clearing it. Okay. I like. So let's do that. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. I'm actually getting excited about this. So we got this mess of a tree here, but it's just a good example of FSMs allowing for really complex behaviors. Even more so than I thought. So this is nice. I don't know if this works yet, but I have to finish the rest of this before I even put it to the test. So, like for example here, like okay, so if we find out that one of the groups is dead, we have to do a check here. Check for which group is dead. So if the transport group is dead. So the transport group is dead. So we like that. Well, we'll check this first. So put that as number one. Then we will probably just tell them to see to do this. What do we do in the other one? Let me make sure it's similar. Or is this not good? Yeah, so we do something like this. Exactly what I was thinking. So then they continue that transport. So we would give, essentially it would be the should be this. And then we would see to the staging area. So nope. It would be basic squad, basic infantry group. So we essentially tell them to move to the staging area, and then they would go there on foot. And then, but we would need to kind of change this up because we wouldn't tell them to return if the group is dead. So we do all this except for making sure this is good. We would turn this off. Turn this off. Yep, wonderful. I just caught something in the. Ooh, what is that in here? Caught something in here. This is scout group in here, doesn't it? Yeah, leader, scout group. We don't need that. Ha! What a mess. Okay, but that's good though. That's done. We'll have to test this, and I'll have to go through and touch each branch. But that's, I think, where I'm gonna have to stop here for tonight. I got a branch done, and that's nice. And I improved even the mortar spawning up here, and then we got some ideas down for like the spawning of the AI here. So I'm excited to look forward, and I'm looking forward to making that. We got several of the things here I wanted to figure out, like adding in the transport vehicles and all that, which is of course more complicated, but all the logistics stuff is just so complicated. And now we got this here, and then this branch here will be very similar to this branch, but we'll just have to change it from basic, carry my advanced infantry just to basic infantry. They won't have much. They'll have like no static weapons. They'll just set up camp and go in without much support at all. So that's like for early game, really. For West and East. And again, the resistance commanders are going to be behaving differently. I'm going to code the other two first. The other two commanders first, and then I'm going to code on the resistance commander because he's going to behave differently entirely. I'm sure a lot of things will be similar, like building structures and those things, but like the West and East commanders build structures aggressively from their HQs, but maybe the resistance commander, well, maybe it does the same thing. We're not sure. I'll have to plan it out. But the feeling I want to get is the resistance commander gets stronger the closer you get to its HQ. So early on in the game, taking over resistance towns isn't too hard. Too much difficulty, but then as you start going in, you start to feel like it gets harder as long as it's doing well. So we're getting close. So we'll do this here, and then this will be, I think there's one if they don't have transportation here, so they don't find any roads. And the same thing here, so we got some branches left to go. 1, 2, 3 left to just get done, just for the logistics part. But we got this done here, and that's going to be the most straightforward to just kind of use those for the other parts and strip things away. And then we can finally get back up here. Once we get this done, logistics part done of just getting there, then we can finish working on the logistics for, or the support units. So I have mortars in here already, I have the advanced artillery already spawning, and statics, and we'll add in the spawn points, like the tents areas and those types of things. And then once we get all that done, then we can move into the actual assaulting of the town. Because keep in mind, the way it works right now is that the statics mortars spawn, they actually shoot at whatever the scouts have found in the town, right? So they soften up the targets. And I'm hoping to have civilians in here that will also be wandering around, so if those get hurt, it hurts the side and it makes people more angry. And then once the targets get softened up, our advanced artillery will spawn if it can. It will also soften the targets up if it can. I'll make them do checks for like civilians nearby, and if there's civilians, they don't do anything. But I think after that, I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, then the infantry will roll in. Yeah, I think that's pretty straightforward and good. Once I get that, then I'll have the AI start fighting and having these going from one town to the next. At most, there's going to be one AI town focused at a time. And the system is very modular, so like all this stuff here, all the AI commanders building all these things aren't needed to spawn into cap a town. So the players could just literally go, oh, I don't want to help fight this town. They can fly all the way over here, and the town defenses will spawn in, and the players can try capping it without any support if they really want to. So they can challenge themselves, or they can go in and fight with the AI and town by town and slowly take it over and fight that way. And then the whole idea is players being able to build their own bases. So maybe the players want to go take on a town down here. They can go fly resources in, build a town, or not town, I'm sorry, like a an outpost or something, and then use that as a spawn point for themselves. And then maybe put up some things too. They can add it where the commander can also spawn troops off, and they can like request. I want to get like a whole thing set up in there for that campaign, for that to be saved for that campaign. So I look forward to that. It's a lot of fun. I'm building something that I just want to like to play by myself, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Just me running around shooting things in the sandbox. But I want to get the AI like smooth. Like I want to be able to just play it and not have to worry about the AI fucking up. So I want to get them real smooth, and that's going to include probably virtualization at some point. That it will need to happen, but I have ideas on how to do that. So we'll worry about that when we come to it. Okay, thanks everyone for watching this video. I think we're gonna stop there. I am gonna go to bed, and I hope to not have to wait till Sunday to stream again. Let me take a look at my schedule here on my phone. I am thinking that it's already the 18th. Yeah, I'm thinking that I'll be able to. I'm just double checking some things. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking I'll be able to maybe stream. Maybe potentially, no, not maybe. Oh, this week's kind of crappy. Yeah, it's not going to be for probably until Friday. Again, if I'm looking at this, maybe late at night, one night, we'll see. Alright, but anyway, everyone, thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Perfect music to end on.